I was inspired and at the same time confused, because it provoked such an intense reaction in me. Thank you, Father. It's been a great privilege. I'm absolutely awestruck. The degree to which the religious life is either truly sane or completely bonkers is just pushed up to the absolute limit. I mean, that's when you really have to decide what's what and what isn't. And the scary thing is that being there this morning, that place made a lot of sense.
Back at Worth, in the wake of the Carthusian visit, Nick's prayer and meditation takes on a new intensity. And he's not the only one to have been affected.
I was speechless, pretty much the whole way through. I'm learning and witnessing some incredibly valuable things. You know, I need to go back out and apply some of this stuff to my life and to the lives of the people that I come in contact with.
For Anthony, meanwhile, it's time to address the fallout from the disastrous community meeting. His spiritual guide, Father James, is keen to explore why Anthony seems to provoke such a negative reaction from some people.
Can I ask this question? Is there something that people are seeing in you that they are taking a dislike to, that one could explain in rational terms, and not just because they're bigoted or prejudiced or whatever? Is there something...
I think sometimes people see in me something they want, but because they can't have it and I have it, they don't like it.
But could there possibly be something that they are seeing which isn't just envy?
Don't know, what do you think it is?
Oh, I wouldn't begin to know.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
Well, I'm speaking personally now, because I
don't think it's all envy. I think some people just think I'm arrogant.
Well, you've said cocky before.
Yeah, cocky, but you know what? Lots of people would be damn lies if they didn't say they were cocky within themselves. But everybody's cocky in some kind of way.
What I'm trying to get to the bottom of is the cockiness of Anthony, and to see if that could be a clue to something in his personality which other people react to. So, for example, we've got Joe Bloggs over there, and we've got James here.
Okay.
And James is cocky, and I'm cocky, and Joe Bloggs thinking, that guy thinks a lot of himself, and it rather demeans me, it puts me down a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have a go at him.
No, I'm not like that.
Could it be that?
No, I'm not like that. I never generally go and have a go at somebody. I tend to keep it inside. I tend to keep it inside.
But it's the regal mystery, which is suggestive. It's the regal mystery, which is suggestive.
I keep it inside.
I'm better than you, mate.
Well, no,
I'm better than you, mate.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I don't like where you're going with
yeah, I know you don't. I want to discover what it is.
I
want to discover
I don't know what it is.
What it is.
No, but
why do people react to you that way?
I am good at... all right, then, we'll sum it up. I know I have a presence.
You have?
I have a presence. I can walk into a room and have a presence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know that. Now... No, and it's not like that at all.
No, it's
not like that at all.
It's the suit.
It's not like that. It's a confidence thing.
What colour is the suit?
Now you see, this is the conversation that we're going that you are not going to get a good reaction to because you're barking at the wrong tree. No, because that's making me sound like I'm an arrogant little twat. And I'm not like that at all, and I really, really take offence to that. Do you know, if I can be really frank with you, I honestly don't see where any of this conversation has gone. It's like the other night when I was having an argument with Gary. I'm in that territory that I don't want to be in. It's like, hello, I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to argue with you. And the more I say I don't want to argue with you, the more you're plaguing me to argue with you. And I'm like, well...
Do you know, I think because... just bear with me 1 second, Anthony. Because I think why are you becoming defensive, getting so defensive about this? It might well be the key to sorting something out, if only we could unlock it. And I just wonder if there's a part of yourself which you're unwilling to explore, and it's got something to do with that virtue of humility.
Benedict believed that to know God, a monk must first know himself. And silence, obedience, and humility are the tools he gives them for the never-ending struggle with their own egos. A struggle which Anthony seems now to have engaged with. Meanwhile, Gary has been summoned by the abbot.
It would seem from what's been reported to me that by any normal standards, the way that you and Anthony behaved towards each other was not acceptable. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And certainly within a monastic context, even less acceptable. So what do you see as being, behind that?
What I can say is that last night, I've come from that background. Although I haven't been involved in that sort of stuff for a long time, but in and out of prison, you're faced with that every day.
What now are you referring to? Faced with?
A confrontation, like it was, yes. Most times it just ends up in fisticuffs. But part of what I think is he doesn't like my honesty, because I'm a rough and ready person and very honest and open. And he doesn't know how to handle that.
No, but as you admit yourself, you're very open in that way.
Yeah, but that is me, but I can't...
Yeah, I agree. But what I'm saying to you, Gary, is maybe one of the things you're learning is that sometimes you have to modify that to suit the different personalities. You have to adapt to seeing that he does not interpret your directness as being a good thing. And so in your dealings with the other people, and this is straight out of Benedict's rule, there has to be this constant adapting to the personality of the other person. And I think that for you is the big challenge. I think the challenge for Anthony is, as you're saying, to be more open. But you can't use your personality to force that out of him. You just can't.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm aware that the last 24 hours has been difficult and still has, I think, some difficult feel about it, but I think we are moving through it. And I think what I want to say is that nobody is apportioning blame. Somehow, what the monastic tradition invites us to do at this point is to say, well, what good thing is God going to bring out of it? Is there anything else that anybody feels they would like to say to the group about that? Is that okay to leave that?
I think you said something very interesting to me last night, that I haven't really grasped the social side of life, because sometimes I put my point of view across and it's not always good for other people. Not even in this context, but outside, because I've seen it on the outside in the past, and me thinking I'm right when I'm actually wrong.
Yeah, it's possible to be right in the wrong way.
Yeah, definitely. And that, I couldn't get my head around that, but I can get my head around it now, because it's took me 12 hours to think about it, to be right but still be in the wrong, if you know what I mean. And I think from that context, that, if I can change that in my life, I'll be so happy.
I think it's also the deconstruction of the ego as well, which I think comes into it more than anything else, the humility thing. Because I can protect myself by my ego sometimes, which I think is not always a positive thing. Right. There are times it is, but there are also times it's not, and I'm aware of it. So I'd say the humility thing.
Yeah. The two people with the most deprived and